Hi. Let's just start this stuff. Let's turn all this freaking. Hello. Hi. How's it going? Let's see. Alright. Yeah, it's working. Yay. Yay. It wasn't working last time, so yeah. Anyhow, let's see how it goes this time. Oh, Power Fishing Pro, hi. Somria Gay W X Rami VR, hi. How's it going? Alright, I'm gonna get to it because I'm happy that it actually worked for, I don't know, I'm trying to work out all the issues for quite a bit, and this is like the most successful version of this that I've been able to make so far of the streams. So let's see how it goes. Last time I made this drawing that you can see right here. I used this reference. Let's see if I can pull it out. Wow, there you go. Well, I did this drawing. It's not perfect. It has some issues because I measure some stuff wrong here. But I was able to fix it. If you go to my channel, you can probably see what I'm talking about. Hopefully the music is not too loud. I'm gonna lower that a bit more. Yeah, something like that. Is the music too bothersome? Let's check that drawing. It's not perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, should be fine. So this time, because I already had this other references, I was thinking of which one I should draw. I like all of them, honestly. I guess in the bigger screen that would be better. So I like all of them. I already did one of those. I was inclined to do this pose because it's like really punk rockish type deal. I like this one too. The pose is awesome, and this picture is like a poster, so I was compelled to. Uh, I think it was the same person on Unsplash that he has a bunch of images like this one, Tom Morvey. So shout out to him. Yeah, it looks like something that you would buy on a shop. Anyway, so I'll probably move on to this one. This is the post that I'm going to do. Also, feel free to ask questions or comment on the chat. It should appear on the screen. So, yeah, that's the reason why I started doing this stuff. So, for a different way to connect with people and work out my my fear of speaking in public. Um, but yeah, if you wanna ask a question, feel free. Should be my first shot. This goes for around an hour usually, so for you to take into account. Just put this over here. That should be fine. Alright, so I mentioned multiple times that one of the first things I try to do is frame the drawing within the page. I hope that makes sense to you, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to show you what I mean. So something like that. That'll be kind of my first line on the page, so I can start to measure how I'm going to tackle the drawing. Sometimes I miss the mark as I did yesterday. Hopefully this is not this time because the scale might be off. And also you get a lot of distortion often because I'm looking at the drawing like I'm looking at it at an angle. Like I'm looking at it. Let's see if you can see it there. Like that in that angle. So if you want to draw better just by doing this, just by kind of, let's see if I can just, it's easier if I freaking draw it. So I'm looking at the drawing like it's on a flat surface and my eyes are here. So I'm looking at it with some distortion. Let's say this is my eye, right? What a way to draw better, uh, or something that is definitely recommended, is that you put the page on a better angle in relationship to your eyes. So that's why I guess when you see like an animation studio, like a traditional animation studio, their tables are inclined. That's not the case for me with this. This is my regular desk, and maybe I should get like one of those. I have, like, if you see on the background, I have my, in Spanish is atril. You use that for the same reason. You want to be like facing the page or whatever you're painting. So let's get back to it. So that's why it's hard for me to keep the camera in front of this stuff unless I get like an amazing camera. Like right now I'm just using my phone that I can have way farther from where I'm sitting. uh, I'm committing too much to that. Let's see how this works out. So, as I said, I might miss the mark. I'm gonna try not to. I'm also using a pen. If this is the first time you join one of this, I cannot erase, so I can only work with what I put on the page. Trying to measure, like if you see a picture, the distance between the head and the foot. I'm trying to measure that distance so I can place a point properly. I don't know if I did that correctly. Maybe the head would be, I had the same issue as yesterday. Did I? I could scale it. You know what? I'm not gonna scale it. F it. This should be like there. Did I turn that off? Yeah, I turned this off. Let's turn that back on. So, also, if you want to suggest something for a different drawing, feel free. And I've drawn a few that have been suggested to me uh, after a while. Uh, on my Instagram, you can find a bunch of those. Actually, one of them, I mentioned it before, got to like 1 million views. Um, just by trying to draw what people suggested. So, uh, to the best of my abilities, of course, something to keep in mind if you wanna participate. Also, I'm thinking of, well, I've been setting it up, but I haven't mentioned that I I've been considering setting up a Discord. I have it, I just don't. I haven't set it up fully, so I don't know. It depends on if you might be interested or not. It depends on that basically. Like I don't wanna do something that people are not interested in. So if you want my direct feedback, maybe that would be a way to do it. I don't know if I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how many people that watches my streams actually draw or they're just out for something to watch. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. If you draw, you can mention it on there on the chat or not. I don't know. Let's see. Actually surprised that this actually worked. Just pause this here. Pause this here. Oh, this looks so messy. Hold. Come on, friend. This sketch. It's a bit of a pain because it doesn't. This is gonna look super random. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. There you go. That works. Works for me. What's up, buddy? Probably my dog wants to get out. I ask him to go to the bathroom before I do this. Hey, give me a second. Thank you. Thanks for watching. No worries. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Thank you. My wife just let him out. Yeah. Wait a second. this is how real this stream is. there's there's no tricks. It's just me and my computer and just trying to make a drawing the best I can. Yeah, thank you. He came back. He doesn't like to be left out ever. At the same time, like when he's inside and my wife is doing something, he wants to go outside. And when I'm here and I close the door, he wants to be. Basically, he wants to see us at all times. Just keep an eye out on us to see what the heck we're up to. Oh, this is this is not looking good. This is not looking good, man. I don't think it's going good. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Well, just gonna take it easy and try to work it out. Maybe you can see the. Can you see the dog behind me? No. Ah. So, well, I mentioned in the past that something good to do with this kind of thing is to kind of uh, frame the drawing, but also worry about the big shapes first and then go into the detail. Here I went into the detail too quickly. Here I went into the details too quickly, so that's not bueno. That's not good. Uh, Usually what you want is for that sort of thing to be. Let me just. You basically want to work first on the large shapes of the subject matter so you can then figure out the rest. And I should listen to my own advice. This is probably gonna end up out of proportion, I think, which is a common issue with um, what I was saying about the distortion that you get from drawing like this. Let's see. Also like itchy scratchy right now. Streaming and paying attention to the chat is yeah. I think that the chat is not working properly, so I'm going to pop out this one again and hey dude, chill. Pop out chat. Max, come on, man. I don't know. he starts acting up every now and then. Mm, well, I don't know up to what point I'm going to get the drawing, but well, you can sort of see what I did. I was trying to get kind of the top of his head, the edge of like the lower part of his fit foot, and like the point gets close to the outside of the page, and the other like his other foot. So as I said, once you have the big shapes, you can focus on the other stuff. And what I like about using a pen when it's not when my camera is not messing with me is that first off you can see it, which by the way was another issue I had when I started doing this kind of stuff. Hello, how's it going? All good. I just trim this. Let's see if it that's a little bit better, I guess. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. A few times, every now and then. But yeah, I have. I think like once or twice, something like that. I'm not that familiar with how it works, uh, but yeah. Okay, so let's do that, and I'm gonna try to. Thank you, appreciate it. Let's see. Thank you, Mamba. Uh, trying to figure this out. You have no idea how my screen looks right now. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna try to make the hand. As you see, it's kind of and I think in Spanish or Italian it's called scorzo. It's in perspective, but uh, it's a kind of the closest part of the subject that is to the camera, facing the camera. So it's slightly, there's not much difference for us actually, but it looks like it's a lot. So it's a slight difference in size. And I know I'm measuring this wrong because actually his sweater should be should look longer in relation to the rest of him, but for the sake of the exercise, that this is what I've been doing for quite a bit of time. Uh, Also consider subscribing if you haven't, and hitting the like, share, tell your friends that there's this random dude drawing on the internet that talks about drawing and a bunch of random stuff that come up. I don't know if this is gonna look good, but I'm going to try it anyways. Let's go here. Wake up. This dude actually kind of looks like similar, at least to the one that made Metal Gear. I don't remember his name. Japanese creator. I'm terrible with names. Wish I was better with that. I think he worked with Konami and then started doing his other games. I think it was like one title, but it was something. Is this like a key or something? Or is it? I don't know what that is. It's cool looking though. This reminds me of an advertising that came out for um, iPod way back when. Hmm. This is odd. What? It's okay. Just keep moving, man. Yeah. If you take anything away from my streams, so it's always good to just keep moving forward. I have to remind myself that stuff is gonna break, it's gonna mess up. Uh, you're gonna run into issues, but you can work through them. So that's why I say that if you work the big shapes first, then the other stuff falls into place. Like the hand can be resumed or resolve into a box that you can then detail if you want after. Like there's always the possibility to add details after the fact. You need to go straight into details because then you might have a drawing that is completely out of whack. There's no proportions, so yeah, it can be a bit of a challenge to deal with after that. Well, somehow I was able to freaking pull off the pose. I did measure wrong at the beginning. If you see this line right here, I was thinking or considering it would be like the top part of the character's head, and I missed that. But yeah, you can also adjust it to what you need at that moment. Okay. Also, by the way, if you're not aware, I'm currently live. I don't know where you're watching from, but I'm currently live on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitch, on Kick, and no, Instagram. That's the one that it's not working. YouTube, and what else? What did I miss? What did I say? Well, a bunch of different social media. So if you look me up, you can probably find me as Segrons. You can see on my screen. That's my usually name I go by on social media. I have my regular name, but when you look when you look me up, unless you put Segrons, which is also like a company that randomly appeared at some point. I've been Segrons for a long time before they were on the map. But if you look me up, then what appears is like some random people. Like there's the most famous one I think is like a football player with my same name. Uh, but yeah, if you find Segrons, should appear on on the interwebs. I gotta say, well, I don't know what I was expecting, but I had in mind that streaming in the effects of the technical stuff would be like, oh yeah, it just works out, and like I have a fairly good notion of how technology works, and I'm kind of a nerd, so I figure out stuff fairly quickly when it comes to technology. But the thing that I wasn't counting on was the fact that Morphy's law, Morphy's law is always at play with everything you do. So yeah, this also would be like a perfect advertising for Converse. Like totally perfect. I don't like that. I There's some messiness there. I really like the contrast that this has. This picture was by Jordan Whitfield. Might end up the stream in a bit because I'm almost, well, I already passed the hour mark. I don't know. I'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, no, we're still fine. Well, I can go for a little bit more. I don't know how far I'll get the drawing, but like it's already blocked out, which is is good. It's good for me. Hideo Kojima, I think is the name. The dude looks like him. Yeah, just yeah, chill. That song is too much right now. Oh, this was so far was faster than what I expected. I think I'm gonna just cover this and then go over it with acrylic to do like that. Kind of a little bit of the letters you can see there. Also, something to consider is that usually when you see something that is, it has like a bright spot, and you can see that it's not a white object, then it usually means that it has some form of shadow. Like you have to go over it. If you leave it fully white, then it's not gonna look exactly how it should. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense to you right now, but if you try it for yourself, you're gonna see, like, just do two versions of the same object, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like you're gonna have areas where there's some light that is hitting an object, and unless it's like, for example, plastic has a really let's see, like it has a point where the light hits it, that like you can clearly see that uh, kind of is like the whitest spot. I don't know how to translate that, but uh, yeah, you have a reflection that you can clearly see. But when it's something like matte like this, if you squint your eyes, well, this one's not fully matte, but let's see if I can find something that. Let's say this, for example. Uh, this is matte. So if you squint your eyes, you can see that it's not actually white. You know there's a difference between the this area and this area because the light is hitting it. But if you squint, you can see that it's still, you would have to put a gray value there and for it to look properly. Anyway, hope that makes any sense. Let's see. Give me a second. It's telling me some stuff here. So why are you telling me this? Settings. Whoa, 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 whoa. Exactly. Thanks for joining. Well, hopefully it's able to see what I'm doing here. As I said, Murphy's law messes with you. Well, apparently there's no such thing as actually the Murphy's law. It's just, it was a test pilot that he ran into all the issues possible while he was testing airplanes, and he kind of just said that when something could go wrong, it would go wrong. So people took it as kind of, oh, there's Murphy's law. But He got really famous for that, and I guess in the translation, people thought that he was like a scientist or something, or maybe somebody made it into a freaking hit piece. Oh, Morphe's Law, but it was a pilot, a test pilot for, I don't know if it was the Navy or the aviation arm of the U.S. Yeah, I think we all face Murphy's Law. It's I think it's inevitable, but I learned that we all have to just look for the bright side. Like if my wife always tells me that I'm grumpy. Uh, I'm a grumpy person, but I guess for by nature I'm kind of grumpy. But uh, I also consciously try to look for the positive things that I that I have in my life or that I can look forward to. Because yeah, more a bunch of stuff is gonna go wrong, and the more you kind of roll with it or are able to prepare for that and deal with it the best you can, the better your quality of life. I also heard that from from a dude that, well, he works in design, but he was mentioning that doesn't matter the success you have, you're not gonna stop having problems. What you would like ideally, or what you actually would want, is for the quality of the problems that you have to improve. That kind of makes sense. Like what kind of problems uh, are you dealing with in a daily basis, and how can you improve upon those? See, this is where the measurements I did don't add up, but you can see the pose, and he doesn't look too far off to what is on the reference. Well, the Murphy's law. Hmm. Well, sometimes I don't know. When there's a bunch of stuff that is going wrong, I guess trying to look on how to fix it. Oh, what I was going to say about when a bunch of stuff is going wrong. Often there's certain situations where we just have to step away for a bit. Like it's just okay if it's possible to do it. Like just step away from this situation for a bit and then revisit it later because I feel sometimes that it's like entropy that gets in the way of things. Like I finally figured out what the issue was that the the vertical stream wasn't working properly. Apparently, I had duplicated the stream with another service or version of the software I'm using. But the only way I could notice is me fighting the freaking software until oh, this is what was messing up. But up to this point, I just had to like accept that it was gonna freaking act up and just not do what I wanted it to do. And also another thing I found is that sometimes it's easier to just start over if you're not too far along with whatever you're doing. I just start over. That's the other thing. That's the other way I was able to fix the thing about the stream. I just literally deleted the thing and then reset it up right before. Hi Santino, thanks for joining. Thank you. Gracias Santino. Gracias. I do the best I can. My life would be I don't know if it would be easier, but I think it would be easier if I had way more followers and I guess be able to be monetized, but well, I'm trying to get there. Gracias, gracias. Slowly but surely. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I do what I can, honestly. Also, if you wanna like if there's a subject that you want me to tackle on my social media, I can. I mentioned this multiple times before. I can do that. Uh, like I'm always looking for new ideas, and if it's something from the people that already watches me, the better. Because I'm catering the stuff I do to the people that are watching me. Like I'm also this kind of stuff. The drawing that I'm doing right now. Um, this is something I wanted to draw, and I felt that it could be cool to make into a drawing. But if there's like a specific question or subject that you would like for me to address, I could do it, no problem, to the best of my abilities. So, yeah. I made videos about like 3D scanning animation, like a bunch of stuff that I learned to do related to my profession. But what I enjoy the most is like illustration and concept art. Those are my biggest, I'll say, downfalls or passions. Change the position of his arm. Alright. Let's see. Oh yeah. He was freaking awesome. He was freaking awesome. The amount of stuff that guy uh, made and came up with. He was an inventor, a scientist, a painter. He was a freaking genius. I think he was like Tesla in level of genius that he was. I guess I cannot do math, but I the the extent of what I can do like 3D animation, 3D modeling, that kind of thing. Um, it's just that I can do it. It's just the being sitting in front of the computer all the time. I'm I'm basically sitting in front of the computer, but I'm working on a physical media. It's so different. I mentioned it multiple times. It doesn't lag. It doesn't crash on you. You don't lose any work. So I really appreciate that about the this. I'm thinking of. I mention it often of turning this into like collectible a collectible sculpture, and I just don't have the budget for it. So I basically, well, maybe at some point I will be able to. It also all depends on how interested is my audience in the stuff I'm doing. Like, I guess people always support, like, you support stuff that you enjoy. I definitely do. Like Star Wars, for example. I bought so many things about Star Wars. Eh, it's like a huge fan of that IP. Oh, what is it made from? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, let me answer this first. Um, this is what's it called? I have it here. It's called in Spanish is masa flexible. Ah, of course, I just remember. It's super sculpey. Super sculpey. Yeah, super sculpey. So if you look it up, you can find it. You can actually that this is an awesome material. It allows for you to like drill it and you bake it. Of course, if you're like a kid, be careful. Just don't do that stuff without your parents. But you can basically you make your sculpture however you want it, and then you bake it. Going back to the other thing that the one of you mentioned, um, I had no idea that he made a machine gun, but that sounds like him. There was I think that's the only series I've seen about him, like an actual series about Da Vinci, and they show how much of a genius he was. But I think he ran for like one season or something like that. And of course, they made him like with a gigantic ego. But yeah, he made a tank. I remember that one. Uh, he did an anatomy studies, like one of the very first to actually do anatomy studies. He did a camera as well. He was so far ahead. There's some people that there's a documentary about it that there's uh, yeah a a cloth that supposedly was the one that covered Jesus after he died, and it has kind of the imprint of Jesus on it. And there's some theory that they care about, they talk about in this documentary, that apparently they think it could have been Da Vinci that made that happen, like through some a bunch of techniques that nobody understands. Uh, like he basically exposed the cloth into showing that imprint. That's the theory. They were trying to debunk that and kind of test it, but of course the church didn't want to let anybody like for them to be able to actually test it, they would have to cut a piece of it. So I understand why they didn't want that very much. So yeah, I cannot remember the name of the documentary, but it was on Discovery Channel. Shout out to Discovery Channel when it was awesome. I don't know what they're doing right now. I don't know if they're still running. There's so then a bunch of them started coming out, like a bunch of different versions of Discovery Channel, and I don't know, it just got really weird. In the beginning, it was documentaries all the time, really interesting ones. Also, Animal Planet is it was one of my go-tos. Anatomy is hard to learn, yeah, but you can practice it. It's not. I think people mysticize stuff a lot, and that's the other reason why I try to draw with a pen. Like, haven't used anything else the entire time. So, and if you mess up, you can do another drawing and just do that until you get it right. It sounds grueling, but it's the reality. That's what I had to do. Like I did thousands of drawings. Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's another genius. He was a freaking genius. And he was so uh, conscious of the impact that what you do has on people. Because apparently I didn't know, but he was like a drill sergeant or something on the army. So it's really ironic that then he turned into. Oh yeah. Well, Stephanie is mentioning it's 100% true. Uh, I haven't gotten that much into what I'm into this kind of technical stuff because not always people ask about it. Uh, what is this? What is this going on? Probably got cut off. Yeah, I got cut off. Come on, come on. Just let me go live again. I'm doing stuff. Stop pestering me. I'm right here. Yeah, yeah. Uh, okay. Now I just went back to the filter. Um. Yeah. So basically, I used to have a book, a marble book. That's where I tested out drawing ideas to begin. Like I was looking for ways to do anatomy easy for me. So they basically the way they simplify it is by you would do like stick figures basically. Like you know that you have all the measurements of a human body, right? So usually a body. I don't know how much you can see what I'm doing right here. Maybe I need a bigger page. Actually, 1 hour 37. Just gonna stop this for a second. So the regular human body, if you're doing hero measurements, it would be 9 heads, I think. Let's see, this is 3, 4, 5, 6. You can do 6, or you can do 8 or 9, depending on how heroic you want to make the human. So basically, you take the measurement of the head and you duplicate it, and that's your base for a human. How do you apply it to a human body? Well, like if this is the head, then the midpoint would be below. If let me see if I don't mess this up. Like this should be the neck. I guess the neck would be like there. Uh, this would be like the chest area, and you get this box. This the top part. I would say if you learn, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to do, if your goal in life, in regards to drawing, is drawing environments, if you want to be an architect or something along those lines, then learn perspective, because anatomy would be like second to that. But if you want to do characters and that sort of thing, then well, go for anatomy. And it depends on how complete of an artist you want to be, but I revolve more around anatomy than environments. Actually, my mom is an architect, so I was kind of like, I already knew what architecture required, so I wasn't that interested in that. So that's why I overdid this. I think he's gonna be way too tall, but hopefully that makes sense. To be something like that. So you have to adjust the measurements depending on. There's so many subtleties in regards to. Just messing this up. The hand should be like there. It should be the hand. It should be like there. So this is kind of the idea. Um, if you want to apply it to something like this, the simple version of that would be like, this is a circle, circle, line, 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 line. This is the most simple version of a human anatomy that you can do. So it's basically a stick figure. I was gonna do the demo here, but like, I would do first the spine first. This would be the cranium, the base of his hips. Then you have the leg. Then you throw the other measurement there for the rest of his leg, and the feet can be a triangle, right? Uh, his shoulders, he's kind of shrug, so I guess his shoulder line would be like there. You can change this. It can be like a B version, but he's also in perspective. So this will be a circle, a little line, another circle, and you can resume the information for the hand, as I said, like into a box. So the chest, this would be like the cavity for like the rib cage, and he has his other leg like standing up here, and then I lower this, and you have this kind of triangle shape there, and his other arm is behind him, so it would be like there, something like this. So if you see, I just did a freaking stick figure that because I'm talking, it takes longer to uh, hopefully you were able to see what I'm doing. I'm sorry if it doesn't. Oh, I don't know if you're still there, but hopefully you can see this at some point. This is fairly simple. What you do to get from this to this is basically you start adding details on top of that. Like, there are different approaches that you can do for a drawing. You can do what I've been trying to do is an approach in which you're looking at the shapes of what you're trying to draw and go from there, because I'm limited by the fact that I can only deal with the lines. uh, like, I cannot erase anything, so I have to limit the amount of lines I put on the page. Because then if I do it with structure first, yeah, always start with simple shapes, and then if you want to complicate your life, then you can start adding other other stuff onto it. But basically it's the same idea. There it's just different approaches. And if you want to start doing anatomy, you can just start by doing a bunch of this. These are called like gesture drawings. You can do a bunch of those all over, and I still do them. Like, I have a bunch of sketchbooks that I let's see if I can find one. Marcel. This is not this is that's different sketch. Let's see if I can find it. What gesture drawing do I have here? So sometimes I do this kind of stuff. Let's see. So sometimes I do like the structure for the drawing before I move on to the actual details. Uh, so if you wanna get used to drawing, I would recommend you can use the method I'm using, just drawing with a pen. It can be a little bit daunting at first, but you can definitely get better over time. The other thing you can use is one of this. I don't know if you can see it there. A Prismacolor color erase. So it's basically a pencil that allows you to erase. I don't know if you follow me on YouTube or not, but I made a video about this some time ago. I love these pencils too. This is my go-to when I'm doing stuff for myself sometimes. Lately I've been revolving around pen drawings because, well, it is what it is. But and I like that method. This is the way I did a bunch of drawings way back when. So I like to do that. So I love the fact that you can do this too. And it's super 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 soft to draw with this. And so you can go really lightly on the page. This is, I think they used it for animation. That's the way I learned about that. But yeah, hopefully that helps you on your journey. uh, Depends on what you want to accomplish. But there are definitely different methods to learning. Draw like a sir. I don't. I'll look it up. I haven't seen that. I'm a huge fan of. Well, I appreciate his work. Cynics. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He talks about drawing in really interesting ways, but he's more focused on digital. Uh, Again, it depends on what you want to focus on. I guess most people on YouTube focus on digital media. There's a couple or a few that do traditional stuff. Scenics Designs, yeah, he does amazing work. Like I'm pointing. Well, anyway, you should look him up. He's really awesome. I also have a few drawing tutorials, but yeah, I haven't. It's a little bit discouraging when you're starting out a YouTube channel that you do all this effort to make a video and it doesn't always pick up. Like it gets like 3 views and then it falls off. So yeah, I guess that's why I haven't continued to do that as much. But maybe I should do a few more tutorials about certain things. It's also a lot of imposter syndrome because I do know my stuff. I just don't always feel like I do. So yeah. Yeah, that's my reasoning for doing these streams. I feel compelled to do something that actually makes me feel like I'm moving in the right direction. So, and hopefully helping people by doing it. That's also part of the goal. Yeah, appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Tell your friends or whoever wants to see. As I said, a random stranger drawing on the internet. This is, oh my god. Actually, his foot should be like up to there, but oh, cool. Thank you. So far so good. I think I might cut the stream in a bit. We conquered, and probably leaving. um, I'll finish this off and post it tomorrow as a short video. I forgot to freaking film. Oh my goodness. Isn't it great? I think I did like one shot. Yeah, well, I guess I can always do this. That's two, and I need a third one. Okay, that's cool for me. It should be like up to here. Yeah. Well, actually happy with this one. I thought it was gonna go freaking horrible. It's still not. The measurements I know are a little bit off, but it looks better than what I expected. Uh, you mean this? Can you see it right? I think you might be able to screen capture this. I can actually look for the book that I'm talking about. But yeah, uh, so you basically can change it up depending on what you want to do. Uh, it can be 6 heads, it can be 7 heads. It all depends. Usually, when it's a female that you're drawing, um, the measurements shift a little bit in comparison to male. Oh. My bad. I did lost in translation. I apologize. Yeah. Anyway, uh, I already have like a solid. I think like I already have 3 shots. This is usually what I only need. Yeah, I can do with that. And yeah, I thought you were asking like for the anatomy stuff. My bad. I know that not everybody that gets into this kind of thing learns about anatomy, and especially not in the same way because every teacher teaches it in a different way. So yeah, I didn't think twice about that because of that. All right, Max, we're about to wrap this up. Um, okay, so I'll post this afterwards. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. It sucks that it doesn't freaking show me. Uh, yeah, makes sense. That's really. Oh, thank you. That actually really helps. I way like back home. I have a bunch of anatomy books that like it's good to revisit and like check for certain things. Sometimes you mess up a part of a drawing and you can how can I approach this? But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you next time, and I'll be cutting the stream soon. Oh, let's check quickly. I don't know, Stephanie, if you have a few in the top of your head, but I know there's one. Uh, yeah, likewise. I think there's one, the Loomis method. Loomis? Uh, Shop anatomy for artists. Yeah, Andrew Loomis. He's really good. Um, Also, I think there's one that's kind of expensive, but it's great. The survival kit for animators. That one, it's not. It's more for animation, but yeah. I also have like where is the? There's one. There's like anatomy references. Let's see if we can find it. Anatomy tools. I think there's still. Give me a chance, Max. I'll get back to you. Yeah, anatomy tools. They basically sell you the structures. Give me a second. This kind of stuff. Human anatomy, and they have a bunch of things that you can books, humans, animals, creatures, sculpting, and I think they have a few that are online. Um, Also, if you go into Pinterest, if you don't want to spend money on that stuff, you can find a bunch of anatomy references for artists there, and you can basically start to try to replicate one of those images, and the more you do it, the better you'll get. Having said this, I'm gonna put together a list of resources for that, and I'll probably mention it on today's Thursday, tomorrow's stream. So yeah, or I'll leave it on. That's probably more like it. I'll do this, or I'll leave it on tomorrow's description for the stream, or I do it for this stream. But it's probably gonna be tomorrow. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you next time. Uh, Bye.
They don't wanna see me make it, they don't wanna see me care.
Absolutely.
Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many